We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the crypto market that is pumping right now. Bitcoin is up at least 5% on the day. At the time of speaking, at 62,800 after having hit only a few days, a week ago, at 53,500. So that is really big, and we want to look at reasons. And obviously over the weekend something happened that cannot be undiscussed during a crypto stream, and not anymore, and that is that the presidential candidate in the US has been slightly wounded, I would say, and there was an assassination attempt. So we have to talk about this, as well as Bitcoin has become political, and these things actually matter for the Bitcoin price. But yeah, and then also we have pretty big collectible drop coming out of VeVe and Ecomi in the green with the market. That is pretty crazy. So all of that, stay tuned. Right now we're going to discuss it. So good morning to each and every one of you. I see a lot of people already here, so make sure to smash up the like button right now for the stream if you can. If you're not driving, that would be good. And I see a lot of people in the chat already. G-Money is here, good morning. Chris Klein says, hey, finally caught a live show, super excited, great, welcome to the stream. Andrew Dunlap says, good morning and good evening. There is a mosquito here. Why is there a mosquito here? What are you doing? Invited to the stream. Shit. Okay, that one is going to. This is really not good, because this one is going to suck my blood, suck my blood out. While I'm streaming. So I really do not. Yes, I killed it. Okay. Anyways, thanks for the patience here. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's jump right in. Okay, so Bitcoin, good morning, Nico, by the way. Bitcoin is pumping as we speak. So we're approaching, we have been $3 from 63,000 here. So Bitcoin is really pumping back into this falling channel. This is the second time that we are faked out for a couple of days here. And if you see, if you've bought the dip, like really the deepest dip, you're up already 17%. So this is a 17% move from the lowest wick, but even from here it's like 10% or so. So that is a good return already for a couple of days, and obviously there are reasons for it. We have looked at them, we have made videos about them, and one of the reasons is that Germany is not selling Bitcoin anymore because they do not have Bitcoin anymore, despite the couple of $100 that people donated to them, which is absolutely crazy, that people threw money on that just for a joke. But the other side is that this year. Okay, so we have to talk about it, whether you are in favor or against Doesn't matter. Many of us are Europeans and cannot vote anyways, right? Like me, I'm German. But I think it's still relevant for crypto since crypto has been politicized. So what happened, if you've been living under a rock, Donald Trump was on a rally, I've forgotten where, I think it was somewhere in Pennsylvania or so. And suddenly in the video you see a couple of you hear something that sounds more like clicking noises. I'd always thought that on a video a gunshot would be louder, but it was also farther away. And then you see Donald Trump tapping his ear and going down quickly, and then a lot of Secret Service guys throwing themselves on him, and it was very clear that there was a shooting going on. And I don't want to add much to like all the theories, conspiracy theories or whatever theories, but that is just what is known so far, right? Shooter that was very close, which is weird, extremely weird, because I think he was like 150 meters on a roof, a young guy, 20 years old or so, and giving those shots. And these shots, they missed his like a critical mass in the head, I would say, by a couple of millimeters actually. So I mean, a couple of millimeters to the right, it would have been bone fragments, and then it would have been brain matter. And this is the first assassination attempt on a presidential candidate in the US since the 80s or so. And I think that many people have not seen that in their lifetimes. Now, why is this important to stream? Because it could have completely changed if the assassination would have been successful. It could have completely changed the landscape or political landscape also for crypto. Because Donald Trump was, before endorsing crypto, he was speaking against certain central bank influences, and he was going to attend as the first presidential candidate, like serious candidate, crypto conference and speak there, and he is doing that still. So this is what's going to happen. He is still coming to Nashville, biggest crypto conference, and imagine he would not be able to come, then it would be a very different world in that we would live today. In any case, no matter what theory is correct and what not, what is there, what is wrong, this it adds to why crypto is green today. Because you now have basically a US presidential candidate that is pro-Bitcoin, at least speaks pro-Bitcoin. We will see what he will implement if he wins, but with significantly higher winning chances. And the market is kind of pricing that in. So his survival, and very likely after that he will have like 5 times the security measures in place, that something like that doesn't happen anymore. But his survival is part of the reason that we pumped again. So it's Germany not selling anymore. It's Donald Trump surviving that assassination attempt, and obviously, then we will see if he speaks and says some bullish things on Nashville Bitcoin conference. We can see the price quickly go back up near all-time high and bring us into a setup for the next big move to the upside for new uncharted price discovery, I would say. And in any case, if you want me to discuss this, let me know, but otherwise I would say we leave the biggest theories for something else, right? The only thing that I read and I found super interesting, there was a guy on Twitter who claimed, I mean, it's always difficult to prove, but from what he said, he seemed very experienced. So he said he was many times in US presidents, like middle attached details, like security details. And he said that things like that can happen due to miscommunication between the inner detail, the middle detail that is executed by the local enforcement and so on, and that they were responsible, and that the shooters on the roof, like the snipers on the roof that are from the Secret Service, that they are like for the super range, like hundreds of meters away. So that was actually not in their responsibility. Whatever. I mean, there are many theories, but there's also this, yeah. We have to talk about this. Everyone who is in Europe, at least. Spain became champion yesterday. In Germany, Germany was already out. We lost against the Spanish team in the quarterfinals, and this is that was the map of cheering the teams on. England was for England, the rest was for Spain, and Germany hoped to just both lose. In the end, Spain won, and I think it was a good match to watch. Anyways, let's talk about Bitcoin and crypto and why it's pumping a little bit more. And we have a lot of people, or a couple of people more here joining. Felipe is here. Good morning. Green Lantern is here. Good morning, boys. Welcome to the stream, my rare hodlers. And Andy is also here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go. So interestingly, the halving and the elections, they are both very close together always. Here we saw them falling really at the same time into the same place, more or less. 2016-17, you see that really not much happened between the halving and the election, and also in 2020, you see that also nothing really happened, and you see here always the winner of the election, right? You see that not much happened between the halving and the election, and then the parabolic move starts, and we see that kind of again, and that would mean that we kind of could start a rally into the election, but it would mean that we have more sideways choppy action, that we could come up to 69k, could come down again, right? You see these sideways actions always happen between the halving, where we are now, like 80 days already after the halving, and the election, which is, I think the election is in October, right? Is it? I think it's in October. So that would be still a couple of months, like what is that? 2.5 months? Yeah, 2.5 months in front of us. So the start of the week, I know it's difficult for many of you, but it is what it is. Getting that knowledge is important for us to free ourselves from the hamster wheels. So there we go. Now here's an update on the global liquidity. And as I said before, and I preach this every time, and yesterday I made a video about it, this is the most important factor for our bull run. And so far we are very, very much on track with this global liquidity cycle. And this global liquidity cycle will peak out and come down only end of 2025 into 2026. So there is lots and lots of bull run in front of us, and many people are scared because their initial gains are wiped out, or at least their initial gains are almost gone in terms of altcoins and Bitcoin. This was just a blink, a blip, nothing, right? Nothing compared to what is about to come. This liquidity cycle shows you what is about to come. This is going to be massive, and is probably going to be a huge increase of global liquidity. Andrew says, I do worry about a retracement early this week due to Bitcoin deviation from its price and market close Friday. Usually the gap is closed at, oh, you mean the CME gap, right? At some point. Yeah, it's very likely. It's not always, but it's, as you said, it's usually. So there is, I think it's BTC.1. No, I think it would be BTC1 Bitcoin futures. I think it's here. Yeah, here's the gap. So this has been filled on a lower time frame, but this is the gap that he's talking about. And these gaps tend to get filled, right? So you could put this marker in here, and usually that would mean the price would come down. Where's the drawing tool? There it is. That would mean the price would come down and fill this and then go up again. This is usually what happens. Let's find another gap where we can actually see that here is another one. We didn't have one for a long time, but here's another one. So this is basically the same situation. You pump out, you come back, then fill it, pump again, and then filled it here. So the price comes back to fill these gaps, right? And the same goes for what the gaps that we opened in the bear market. So you have this gap here, for example, and this gap, and then the price went all the way down, but at some point it comes back to fill it. Here you have one in the other direction after the bottom, right? So here you have a gap opening, and then it comes back and fills it, and then it continues. And that could absolutely happening, right? And it can happen that the price, so this would be a price of roughly, I mean, the gap is open would be filled at 59,000, right? So it's not that much of a turnaround here, or it's even 60K or something. No, it's not. It's here. The wick is actually at 58,800 or so. So this would be 58,700. No, 58,800. So this would be the expectation that the price comes back to that. This is what he's talking about. Very good call here, Andrew. Thanks for making us aware. There are a couple of gaps that have never been filled. I think there's one. I think this one has not been filled, never been filled. And it's not a rule that goes 100%. It's just an indication. But this gap has never been filled. It was in the parabolic blast it kind of touched it back. So far, the rule held strong, but this gap at 9,000 has never been filled. This is also why and also this gap has never been. This has been filled. This has been filled by the bear market this year. But so there was one here, right? Yeah, but this lower one has never been filled. So it's like an 80-90% chance that this happens. So yeah, very good. Let's continue. That was not it. So here we see it in another way. I showed this yesterday on my video, where I put out a couple of other news, and I also showed this one. And this actually shows you how Bitcoin is correlated to nothing more than this global liquidity cycle. So you have the global liquidity cycle peak with a red dot. And then you have the cyclical nature in the 3.75 year cycle until global liquidity bottom. And you have the real liquidity expansion in a green line. And you see that, funny enough, is that it actually coincides exactly with the Bitcoin top. And the global liquidity even coincides with our absolute cycle top of the last cycle, where we hit the all-time high, slightly higher than the previous high. So this is really accurate so far, and not many people are watching exactly this, right? So this would also mean, no, our cycle is not off. It's not too early. It would actually mean that we will top out somewhere in 2025, inside of 2025. Maybe in the beginning, maybe in the middle, we cannot say for sure yet. As you see here, sometimes it's a little bit earlier, sometimes it's exactly in it, sometimes it's slightly a little bit later, right? So this is very accurate, right? And here you see global liquidity also in itself moving upwards, and that is very good for us because we don't have to do much, and it doesn't matter if there are black swans or whatever, right? The government just reacts to the economy by stimulating, by pumping liquidity into it, and our risk on assets are going to the moon. And this is exactly what's happening right now. If you're subscribed to this channel, you would already know that we are saying that usually the Fed will at some point lower the rates, and there is something in the economy usually that makes them finally do this, so that they are stopping to curb inflation and they're pumping money into the market. And there is something happening right now. US bankruptcies just hit their highest level in 14 years. So you see here 346. 346 companies have declared bankruptcy through June 2024, the most since 2010. a year after the financial crisis. So 2010, after US subprime crisis, that was the last time that the numbers were this high. US bankruptcies have also recorded their largest monthly increase in at least 4.5 years, with 75 new bankruptcies in June 2024. Even during the 2020 pandemic, the highest number of filings in a given month was 74. Now that is explainable because they did not let the companies fail at that time. But this is where the Fed Powell at some point will say, okay, bankruptcies, bank crashes, credit default by common people, right? By normal people, so not industry and so on. This is all adding up to saying, okay, the economy gets weaker and weaker and weaker. We have someone here celebrating, at least one, MVE, Buenos Dias, Viva España, let's go. Third title, now leading, as far as I can see it, leading together with Germany, 3 titles each, right? Yeah, anyway, there you go. So what's adding to our Bitcoin price also is like everywhere in the world there are ETFs that have just an up-only trajectory, right? So I mean, that is a very small ETF, but I like the example. This is like in Australia, the IBTC in Australia, and it's just going up in throughout June, right? It's just going up to 83 Bitcoins. It's not much, but it's cool. And then here we have the real deal, the Bitcoin ETF, spot ETFs, total cumulative flow. We see we don't stop here as well. There was a little bit of a sell-off as well as here, but the overall trajectory is upwards. And this is the most successful ETF in the history of ETFs. Bitcoin is going crazy. It's going nuts. The selling factors, they are going away. There is another, by the way, I didn't find the tweet, but there is another selling factor that is adding to the market, and that is previous bankrupt exchange Genesis also has about 2 billion of Bitcoin to sell into the market, and they probably are going to sell at some point. But again, this is just you saw it with Germany. This is going to be absorbed in no time. This is less than Germany had. It can lead to a couple of days in the red again, but if Genesis starts selling, and maybe there's another exchange that is coming at some point, we don't know because so many have gone bankrupt, but they will just be redistributed into the system, and yeah, that is basically it. And then another bullish one, a really big one. This is really big. Like, this is one of the things that really makes me bullish. So M1 money supply is what you see here in red. M1 money supply, and Bitcoin just had a breakout against it. And the last time this happened, I mean, we talked about it once when it really happened. Now we have basically a retest on it. The last time this happened was 2017, and that bull run was like the most beautiful, crazy bull runs of all times. And there is a good likelihood that if we stay on top of this M1 money supply like we did back here, we're going to see a very, very crazy run, right? So let's hope that the world stays like is still pieced together when we're getting there, right? I mean, there are crazy things happening like this right now, and we are in many, many dangerous situations. And I'm just leading up to something here. If everything goes wrong and crypto goes right, then we go with the apocalypse ready Lamborghini Huracan. Look at this. I think this looks pretty cool. This looks like this would be a collectible for VeVe, right? I mean, this would be something that I'd really love to see on VeVe. Look at this, a Lamborghini desert ready, looks a little bit like Mad Max style, and then 2 big guns on top of it. That looks really good. Anyways, by the way, we have over 20 people here. Smash up the like button while we are going to check where we are in terms of fear and greed. We are at 52, so we are in neutral territory. People are not even in extreme greed again, but it will come again, and then you know what's happening. So this is always you see here we have been hitting it. Actually, we had 25, but this is not measuring like the lowest point. It's just taking a snapshot every day. And what we also want to see before we talk a little bit about Ecomi and VeVe is the Bitcoin dominance. This is very interesting because, I mean, we have talked about it and it is going up again. So when we said before, if Bitcoin recovers, takes a bullish move, Bitcoin dominance is going up again. And what you see, thank you for the like, Sven, and what we see is that even here, this is a series, even in the low time frame, this is a series of higher lows, right? This is a series of higher lows. We're still in an uptrend here. Even on the short time frame. And on the longer time frame, we are in an uptrend anyways. Yes, you can say we are also on a downtrend here, but what does that give us? That gives us symmetrical. It can break to either side, right? I mean, clearly it can break to the downside, but I would say with everything that Bitcoin is showing, maybe we are going to break out to the upside and get to new highs. And I would say there is a chance that if we pump hard enough now, there is a chance to still reach the 58 or close in Bitcoin dominance. And why do I tell that to you? Because Bitcoin dominance is the one single most important indicator to determine whether it's still Bitcoin season or whether altcoin season starts. Okay, so you see here in the longer time frames, it is Bitcoin season since November 22. It's definitely Bitcoin season since November 22. And it's not altcoin season definitely since May 2021. Since altcoins had topped out and started to decline. It's not, it is Bitcoin season. And on a broader scheme of things, look at this beautiful chart pattern. It would be it would be so bullish if we would, over the next course, if we would reach into September and reach 57% or so in September, October. It would be very, very beautiful, right? Very beautiful. Yeah, hey Patrick, good morning. A little bit late. No, actually, I was a little bit earlier today. But anyways, also you're a little bit late at 8:15, but it's no problem, of course, because we talked a lot of important stuff, but everyone can watch it later, so please smash up the likes. Most important thing for a channel is to get the like, besides having viewers, obviously, right? But you get more exposure on YouTube if you get the like. So if you really want to help me, if you want to help me build a long-term community here, then make sure to smash up the like button. Let us have a look at Ecomi as well, because Ecomi is, and I have to refresh here, because Ecomi is green with the market, and that is not Ecomi. That is not Ecomi. Now give me a second here. Yeah, I mean green, right? It is a little bit of green, but it's green with the market, and usually when Bitcoin pumps, Ecomi, for example, is not moving at all, or is going down usually when Bitcoin pumps. Now at this time it's a little bit green, but we never know, and we are just hovering around 0005 still, and we are still waiting for confirmation of a bullish pattern in the lower time frames. And please don't derive anything from this, but in the lower time frames there is a little bit of an uptrend so far, right? So on a lower time frame for me is a daily, this is a low time frame for me. I know that there are many YouTubers that look at the hourlies and at the 4 hourlies. I don't think there's much value in that, but unless you're a trader, like a day trader. But we have ourselves since since June, so since a month or so, we actually have ourselves, even if we take the wicks, as a nice little a nice little uptrend here. Okay, so we will observe if that can lead to a break above critical level, critical structure. That would be, at least, it would be cool if that was the case. By the way, this is on OKX. We want to have the Gate.io chart with all our lines, which is this one here. And here we also see, obviously, the same thing, that we technically have a trend here. Okay, but you see here we see better on this chart that we have 2 critical levels to breach, to really find a reversal here, of which this is number 1. This needs to be broken, 5164, and then we have this here at 5792 that also needs to be broken and open and closed above on a higher time frame to really say, okay, we're back. And I think this can take some time because it's just not in the narrative. The volume is not high. People are hesitant to buy it also because there are not many news. But if you believe in Omi and the team and the app and whatnot, then it could be a good buying opportunity because we're sitting very close to all-time lows, right? So this is definitely something to consider. Now, what is definitely happening here, and I really appreciate these daily outputs here from Living Aloha. I think it is worth following him, even if he is usually a little bit more biased negative, like, oh, this and that doesn't sell out, or too few users or so. But he's still putting constantly information out here that is helpful, right? So what is interesting is VeVe is selling out some pretty high edition drops at the moment, and there are constantly like 2,000 users going for them. And that is very bullish because we had a time where on VeVe users were sub 1,000 active and the drops did not sell out. Now, we had, if we are looking at, maybe we can pull up the KC BMW calendar to see what happened and where we are right now. So we had the Flower Bomber. So the Flower Bomber, I don't know if they all sold out, but it was grossing a lot and it burned a lot of MCP, which I think got some people bullish. And then we had the Hulk 180 at 5,000 edition, $10 price point. It sold out, took a little bit, but sold out. Ultraman did not sell out. The price point was a little bit too high, but I think they sold like 2 of the 3,000, so also not too bad. And then it started to go a little bit better here. So they had the Hulk 181, and that was a $20 price point, and it sold out. I think it sold out, right? Did it sell out? I think so, right? Yeah, it sold out. So they sold that one out. Then they had this crafting event, which I think did not require anything, nor gems, nor MCP, so really doesn't matter. And then the Mighties. And with the Mighties, I thought, okay, it's like the common Miles Morales. So there was a Chase variant in here, the secret rare that you see here on the left side. And that is in the market for about $1,000 or so now. Because it was a 1 in 146 chance. So people started gambling on it. And that is very... Yeah, that is. I mean, I started gambling on it. I tried my luck, and I had the worst outcome ever. I used like 30 gems, and I drew two uncommons of I drew the Reno and this bearded dude with a spear, like literally turned 15 gems into 30 gems into 4 gems or so, right? That, of course, is not good. But from a VeVe perspective, and I know there are a lot of people that are like, oh my god, patient hodler. If you're bullish on VeVe sales, you don't have anything from that. We'll see in the bull market, right? I mean, it could be not, but we will see. There's more to talk about, but let's first see the comments a little bit. So Andrew says, VeVe has figured out the scarcity thing pretty well. Having these 88 edition drops really pushed the gamblers to buy. I admit I do have fun with some of them. The latest Marvel Mighties was done well. Yeah, I 100% agree. They figured it out. And by the way, without bragging too much, but we kind of did say this 1 year long on this channel that you need these chase drops, right? We kind of said it. No, not kind of. We said that. We said that a lot on this channel. We even founded the term "make collectibles scarce again," right? A while ago. Anyways, I think you are absolutely right, Andrew. LK Franklin is here. Hey, Omi the clown. Hello, what's going on? How are you doing, man? Good to see you here. Energy is also your worst mighty drop I've ever had. Yes, probably it's for many people that damn it on this, but I still have what I was hoping for was that I can get at least the common. But no, I had to get I got the wrong common. I got the rhino. Yeah. So definitely that happened. Now, there's another one to talk about. I'm very much not happy about this one. And that is, before we come to the big droppers, to the big drop. Oh, 1 second. Let me go to the VeVe collectibles here first. So, what I'm not happy about is this. Okay, so I bought this jukebox from secondary when people dumped it and did not give value. Right? I did not spend the full amount, but I bought it on secondary. So what they do is now free craft for Rabbit's jukebox holders. That's actually not true, right? And I'm pretty pissed about this because when I saw this, I was happy that they said, "Oh, here's a free drop for all the holders." I am a holder of that. And then it's like Ron English Arts band Rabbits are back again with the origin story of Delusionville. Free crafting starts Wednesday. And I first didn't look at this like, oh my god, I get a free collectible finally. I did not have any of these crafting things going for me whatsoever. And then I look at the article and it says to craft the secret history of Delusionville, users will need to hold a store-purchased Rabbit jukebox. A store-purchased. This sucks. Here you see it above. This sucks because I am a holder, yeah, and I contribute to. I mean, they are still sitting in the store. I could technically buy it from the store, but I bought it from secondary. I'm literally contributing to this price being up a little bit more, right? So I would have loved to have the people rewarded with a snapshot that everyone that held it until now, until we brought this news, gets rewarded, right? So this sucks. And then obviously people are like, yeah, cry more, whatever. But this would be rewarding a holder no matter where they bought it from. LK says, looking at wallet activity for past year, it hasn't grown but slowly declined over 365 days. What are people waiting, hoping for with VeVe? I think it's the same like with crypto, right? You hope for liquidity come back and then prices go up, right? I think that's it. Energy says, yeah, but this is the same with the Rambo poster drop. Have had also bought the collectible on second and hold it, but I didn't get the airdrop craft. they wanted to sell out. Yeah, I know they wanted to sell out, but it still sucks because you say collectors at heart, but then you don't reward the people that bought it in any way. Like, I mean, if you have a cheaper deal on the secondary, it makes sense to buy it there, and you might like the collectibles then, right? And it would actually bring more attention to the secondary. LK, I think this is too early to say, because in a 4-year, if NFTs, if digital collectibles, whatever, like everything that's tied to crypto moves in a 4-year cycle, then it's too early to talk about, through 365 days it's only going down. What are people waiting for with VeVe? I would say what we're hoping for is a means of liquidity coming in, global liquidity going up, that pushes liquidity into VeVe and brings the prices up. Yes, Felipe, there are app problems right now. They have put out a maintenance alert, actually, on push notifications of VeVe, and I think they also published it here on the thing. LK says NFTs have been around for a long time. What makes people think they operate on a 4-year cycle? The last bull run in the NFTs that coincides with the cycle timing when altcoins topped out, the NFTs started to move. So they are, if you analyze them in cycles, they are behind the rest of the crypto cycle. So NFTs have been around for on a scale where people really noticed them and where there were exchanges for them and so on. They have only seen one real cycle. I know that there have been Ether Rocks and CryptoPunks and so on been around before, and I'm betting on the NFT cycle coming back, and I think the reason or the way it will come back is, where was the 2017 NFT cycle then? Exactly. This is like the first altcoins coming out before the 2016-17 cycle. No one cared until they came out, right? So there is always an initial stage where no one understands, no one cares, and then it comes in, right? So it's in my opinion, it's just not an argument. And some people bought even Ether Rocks and CryptoPunks back then, but it was a very slow community, and there was a trigger to NFTs this time, and that was, in my opinion, that for the first time these NFTs have been made accessible. So in 2017, there were no NFT exchanges or NFT applications where you could buy them. Neither were there big communities formed that are dropping their own collections. So I think it's really a trial stage, and maybe they don't come back. But I personally think it's too early to say. So it's a very valid question, or it's valid questions that you raise. Don't get me wrong. I like the discussion, but I think it's too early to say. Yeah, and many NFTs will not come back, but I think there is a good chance that VeVe, with all the brands that they have, that they will come back. I mean, it's also not that. You said yes. You look at your vault or your portfolio going down, and the collectibles are going down, but it's not that grails are like massacred in the market. If you look at, for example, Miles Morales, the absolute grails, you still have the partner statue with how many editions are those? Like 3,000 or 4,000. You still have it trading at above $1,000. So, did VeVe announce the downtime on the app? Do they have in-app comms yet? Yes, they did. When I woke up, I had a push notification on smartphone, and they put out maintenance alert. Yes, they have in-app comms. So they are communicating drops, they are communicating maintenance windows, and they are communicating. What else do they communicate? They should communicate upcoming drops as well, news, so that people open the app for news. But I don't know how that is. Big A says, we only had one NFT cycle in history, and this run, it looks like memes are taking that position. Other than a few top projects, I don't expect NFTs run this cycle. And I strongly disagree. And what you are seeing, like, I don't know how much you've seen from the last cycle, maybe only the end. But memes have been running 2 times in the last cycle. And people only remember the second time. But Dogecoin had several moments, and then SHIB came in, right? So there's really like this. For example, this is also something. Actually, this is a good thing that you mentioned meme coins, Big A. So in the last cycle, meme coins only surged. Like there were little meme coins, right? There were only a couple of them. So and then you could also say, oh yes, why would you say that meme coins come back this cycle? Because if you look at the 2016-17 cycle, where were the meme coins, right? So it's like it's expanding. So, but I can also show you in another. Let's grab a window that we don't need anymore and put here a Google Trends for the Bitcoin. So this is and that is Bitcoin. Okay, I showed this a couple of times, but I will pull it up again because some people just don't see or don't realize. Let's put it this way. So this is Bitcoin search trend last 5 years, right? We don't need more than 5 years for now. And then you have Ethereum, which is like everyone is searching for Ethereum when altcoins are hot. So here you have that, right? So in the last run, you had Bitcoin topping, like having its first top, and then altcoins started to run. And then you go for NFT, okay? And NFTs, look at that. Altcoins were already on a decline when NFTs went hot. So they were lagging the cycle, right? So and this is for me, like look at that here. When altcoins at a blip, NFTs sparked the first time, and you can also see that if you're looking at the price performance of here Bored Apes floor price chart. Look this up here. Bored Apes floor price chart, right? So, and then you go on max scale. Okay, so this is, they started to move May 31st, okay? But May 31st was here, right? Here, when altcoins moved, not when Bitcoin peaked or when Bitcoin was hot. This was when they started to move, and then they had their parabolic run really going crazy, like in August, and then it peaked. They peaked in May 22. They peaked in May 22. And where is May 22? Well, that's here. That's even here below, when search volume was already declining, right? So here, they peaked here. So they're really far behind in the cycle timing. Or they were. We will see how it is this time. But when everyone's rich from altcoins, there's a very good chance that they flip it again. Why would you go out of Bitcoin into altcoins? Because you expect them to pump, you want to ride the wave, you contribute to the pump, and then you exit before the dump retails are out, right? That's what they do. And then what will they do? If let's say a whale throws $1 million, which is not much in this market. One whale, let's say they ape $1 million into VeVe. What will happen? Just speculating. Let it even say a half whale that is just gambling $100,000 on it, and then maybe another one, right? Have some Bezosmans of those. I cannot see why there isn't like why people cannot wrap their head around the concept that people do degenerate stuff, right? So yes, there were memes last cycle, but NFT cycle where people would make random collections and they would pump and dump exactly what is going on with 10k daily new memes. Exactly, they are doing that, but it's not a replacement in the cycle. It's because the meme coin worked with SHIB and with Doge, and then they saw early in this run the Pepe, and last time in the end of the cycle there were many meme coins. There was cat meme. What was that cat meme coin? There was Floki Ino. There was one of the similar season was in the end, and now basically they saw, okay, a couple of meme coins did well, so let's bring out meme coins on the chains, because meme coins pump on. It's a completely different thing. It's a completely different thing, in my opinion. It doesn't have to do anything with this, but memes are in the beginning of the cycle and then in the end of the cycle again. Yeah, meme coins are oversaturated just like NFTs. Throw in AI gen and it's a dead market. Yep, exactly. But I'd say for NFTs it's a little bit. This is why you're completely right, LK. The NFT market, like we saw it last time, will not come back, because you can just mint AI generated stuff on all the cheap chains, and you will have just a diluted market that most collections will not do well. You have some branded collections like Mutant Apes and Bored Apes and CryptoPunks that will probably come back and go again. And the Ape project they will bring out like their other side, Metaverse, or what that is. So at some point, gaming will do well, then Metaverse probably will get something of that gaming thing, or maybe gaming directly to NFTs. This is at least what I could think of how it would come back. So this is only my opinion, obviously. If you are not with me in that, I'm totally fine, right? Hey gaming, what is going on? And to be clear, I hold many NFTs and hope they do well. I just don't see it. NFT run was just a bunch of pump and dump projects, and now memes do the same with less steps and faster entry exit. I think it's two different things again, but we will see. We will see throughout the cycle. Maybe we will think back of the stream and say, man, LK and Big A, they knew it. They knew nothing will come back. But we will see. So this is really you see it here. This is really where I would say it's Bitcoin season, then it's altcoin season, and then it's NFT season, right? And I would say this is how the cycle will go again, and maybe Bored Apes will be the ones that make the comeback, right? Floor is still at just under 10 ETH. But considering that ETH is on its dollar pair at $3,200, that's actually not too shabby, right? Anyways, I mean, it's still very low, right? But yeah. Anyways, for today, we have still to look at one more thing, and that is whether you believe they come back or not, we are getting this on VeVe, and a lot of people, they are excited about it, right? And it all comes down what you can do with it, but yeah, here's the teaser, and I mean, you know what it is. It's the infamous alien from Ridley Scott's Alien. And these movies, they have a big fan base. They brought already posters about this. It's going to drop at the 21st of July. And I saw already there are a lot of people. LK Franklin says, well, if it does come back, it won't be VeVe. Buying inputs you instant 30% down from the jump. More money to be made elsewhere. That is true. More money is can be made elsewhere at the moment, like in the altcoin market. Insta 30% down, meaning the secondary fees and the cash out fee probably, which can be subject to change. I mean, the cash out value, they brought it down to 100 gems, so that is already there. But if you look at, for example, a couple of things that I have, I'm up 100x or so on on comic that I got on drop. But yeah, LK is only the clown. I don't know what happened between you and VeVe. I don't follow all the Twitter gossip, but seems that something has happened. Anyways, guys, still, like, your contribution, your discussion is very appreciated on this channel. I just disagree on the cycle theory, but we will see. And I also disagree that it won't be VeVe, because I think that branding wise, VeVe does a good job, and if they can implement some things and get rid of some other things, then it could be still go well, right? It could be still going well. But anyways, guys, for today, smash up the like button right now. Please, everyone, before you go, smash up the like button. Subscribe to this channel with notifications on, and wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next video or live.